It's finally here. It's Tuesday, 8 p.m. It's time for CCUK Resin Q&A Live, sponsored by apexresin.co.uk. Don't forget, use my discount code CCUK, save some money. That's right. Tonight and every Tuesday at 8 p.m. we're going live on the only resin talk show where you meet your favorite artists and creators behind the gloves. CCUK Resin Q&A Live. We'll be talking with fellow resin artists and creators and answering all of your questions live. Make sure you stick around. Ask all your questions in caps lock. Get involved, share this video with your friends and family, and enjoy the show. And with that, I'd also like to take a moment to say a massive thank you to everyone that supported this channel, guests, sponsors, members, and subscribers. I appreciate each and every one of you. We all grow together. The more questions you ask, the better the live will be. So be creative and ask away. Make sure at the end of the video you give it a thumbs up and comment. That's how we all keep growing. But for now, sit back, grab a drink, relax, and enjoy the show. Evening, everyone. We're a little bit early, but that's good. That's okay. Only by a couple of minutes, I think, 3 minutes early. But I've got exciting news. We've got Tina in the studio already, so there's not going to be any technical issues this week. So I hope you're all doing well. What's Luna saying no Andy for already? Jesus, what have I done? What have I done wrong already? But it's nice to see we've got a few in already. We've got Mary Beth, we've got Jacob from Jacob's Creations, Lula, Lisa. Who else have we got in here already? Stormy or Nikki, depending on what you want to be called today. Nikki Gunn is apparently the new nickname for you, Nikki. Who else have we got? Obviously, we've got Tina in chat, but she's coming on stage in a minute as well. Anybody I've missed? Janet, we've got in as well. Diane, nice to have you as well. Hi, Sherry, nice to see you as well. Resin Art by Sherry Hart. I love that name just because it rhymes. Macfufu, great to have you again. Hey, Sherry, nice that you've caught alive live. Nice to see you. Hi, Rachel. Hi, Michelle. Have I missed anyone? Hi, Lynn. Nice to have you in as well. Hi, Corey. I don't think I've had you in before, so nice to see you. And hi, Sheila. That's the hellos so far. We've already got 22 in, so I think this is going to be a popular one. So before we go any further, this is one of my most exciting lives. And the reason why is Tina is at the start of her journey, pretty much, with her channel. And that's probably the most exciting time for us to meet a new artist, get them on the stage, give them our support, and help them grow, which is what these are all about. So, who's ready to meet Tina? Anyone? But no, let's get her on stage. Also, if you're here for the live giveaway, we will do that at some point in tonight's live as well. But before we go any further, let's meet Tina. Hey, Tina.
Hey,
how you
guys.
doing? How are you?
I'm good. How
Good.
are y'all?
I'm guessing from the channel name that I don't really need to ask whereabouts in the States you're based.
I'm east of Dallas.
In Texas.
Yes.
Just in case people don't know where Dallas is. But yeah, no, it's amazing to meet you as well, because we've been talking about this for a little while, actually. I think since you first started your channel.
Yes.
And
I started early, this year? I think
Yeah.
I've been doing this since like 2018,
yeah,
but I never got to actually do YouTube. My husband got real sick and I had to take 2 years off and take care of him and all that. So, but yeah, I started doing it this year. I had to get my mind off stuff. So I thought, well, now's as good a time as any. So.
well, resin's a great outlet for that. I think we all know that. I think that's one of the things when the great thing for me about whenever I get creative, it doesn't even have to be resin. It can be anything. But it just, you don't think about anything else that's going off in the world apart from that little project that you're working on and hoping that it goes right. And I think that's where actually it does a lot of good with mental health.
Hi, Sheila.
Hi, Laura, as well. See, you've joined us as well.
I
Hey,
think
Sheila.
Lulu told Jacob that he needed to be wearing or you need to be wearing your cowboy hat for that. Jacob said that you need to be wearing your cowboy hat.
I'll be honest. I don't own a cowboy hat. So the one that I wore for that auction was the ladies that I was seeing, because she was very much into like country dancing and festivals. So I don't own one, but I might have to get one because I quite like the way it looked as well.
Yeah. Cowboy hats make people look better, period. I mean, they're just...
Hi, Paula, as well. Nice to see you in chat Paula. As well. But the great thing with the cowboy hat, it also covers the bald patch at the back. So it makes you look younger.
Yeah.
But no, I think I might have to get one, because I actually quite like the way it looked on that auction that I did. So I might have to get one. Be a bit different to a baseball cap.
Yeah. They're wanting me to drop my link in the what? Can you
your channel link
in the chat? Well, Mary Beth said she was having a hard time finding my channel, and I know yesterday on the live that you had yesterday, Stormy was on there. Yeah. I can't find her.
Hang on one second. I don't think Stormy's got a channel, but correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah,
I know that she's put a few posts out on Instagram.
Yeah, I don't do Instagram. I don't have Instagram or Facebook yet.
I'm just trying to load your channel up on YouTube so I can share the link.
Yeah. Now, when I started in 2018, I had a different name. It was Tiny Tornado, and I am on TikTok for that one. I have a TikTok account for that one. I just don't hardly ever post anything because when I first started, I started with tumblers. That was my thing. And then I got to realizing that, I wasn't selling anything. And then that's when my husband got sick. And then when I come back, I decided, well, I don't think I'm going to do tumblers because it seemed like everybody at that time was doing tumblers because of the pandemic. And it was so hard to sell something, and it just, so I thought, okay, well, when I got on YouTube this year, I was like, I think I'm going to do something different. I mean, I'm still going to do tumblers, and I've got a couple of tumblers in mind that I want to do. So that's coming up. And I just got me a new stand so I can take it outside and they can watch me spray paint and all that good stuff. They can watch it from front to end.
I've not done a tumbler yet. I need to get on that because they look amazing. I've seen people do them.
They are so fun. I love them.
But everybody in chat, just very quickly, two things. Firstly, any questions you've got, please remember to put them in caps lock so that the mods can send them to me and we do them in order. Hi, Nicole. Hi, Lynn as well. Nice to see you as well. Hi, Nikki from Kernix. I wonder if we've got both you and Kirk tonight. I don't know.
They are so funny.
They are great. And interesting news on their channel. They're starting a podcast on the 31st of August.
Yeah.
I think that's going to do really well. But just so everyone knows, Tina's quite new. So I think you're on 36 subscribers, was it?
I was at 36. I thought it was like 32 or 33. I don't know.
Well, there we go. This is Tina's channel. She's only on 36. She's at the start of her journey. Please, if you haven't already, take 2 seconds now before we continue to meet Tina, because you're going to want to subscribe by the end of this, and go to Tina's channel on YouTube, which is at We Resin Texas, and subscribe. Hopefully, we've got 30 in this chat. If everybody who is in this chat right now subscribes, we could double Tina's subscribers in one show, which will be amazing. So again, go to We Resin Texas and subscribe. And I've watched a couple of Tina's videos. They're great to watch. They're very tutorial, I think, and you can learn stuff, and that's what this is all about, all of us growing together and supporting each other. So before you do anything else, take 1 second, go to Tina's channel, hit the subscribe, and let's keep growing together. But now back to you, Tina. So you started off with tumblers. What made you want to come onto YouTube? I know the timing wasn't right at the start.
Well, I actually, when I started this journey, I always wanted to do YouTube, and I had a stroke in 2018, so that kind of stopped me from being in the medical field because I couldn't lift on people or whatever. So my daughter was telling me, "Well, Mom, why don't you do tumblers?" And I'm like, "What?" you know, because I've always been a crafty person and I didn't know what she was talking about. She said, well, get on YouTube and look it up. So I did. And so that's how I got started. And then, but I've always wanted to do YouTube. I've literally ever since, I guess, 2018, when I first started on YouTube, I fell in love with YouTube. I mean, this is all I watch. I don't watch any kind of television. I strictly watch YouTube, nothing else. I don't even, well, we finally did get, what is it? Fiber optic in our neighborhood. Woohoo! You
That's
know, we've
good.
grown. So, but I don't even subscribe. The only thing I have is the internet. I don't even subscribe to their TV service.
You may get an echo for 2 seconds because I'm just pinning your comments. I've had to go back into YouTube.
Okay. Well, I have my phone if I need to put my thing in there.
1 second. No, it's me doing it. So there we go. I pinned your channel to the top, so we shouldn't get it now. I've come out, but I had to go into my normal YouTube to pin it. So everybody, just so you know, Tina's channel is now pinned in the comments. So that should be there now. So sorry about that. I was doing that on the back end.
So, as I was saying yesterday on your live, I've got to pick your brain about editing. What?
Oh, okay.
What new software are you using?
I use CapCut.
I love it. Are you still using CapCut?
Yeah, it's still just CapCut. I do use the premium version.
Well, I've got that.
I just think, to be honest, I've got better with editing with CapCut. So
I haven't. I don't know what's going on. I can't figure out how to do the thumbnails.
Okay, the thumbnails aren't through CapCut, so that's something. The thumbnails are something different. So again, everybody, I'll let you know. I use an app called Pixels for my thumbnails.
Okay, I've seen some apps.
That costs $40 a month. Whether it's worth that, no. You could probably do just as good in Canva.
I'll do Canva. Now my daughter will. I don't like Canva.
For me, I wanted to be more creative with them, and that's where I thought, you know what, I always want to reinvest back into the channel, and whether that's through a new app or a new software or something to make it a little bit better if I can, I want to do it and see if it makes a difference. So I've only had them for 1 month so far. I haven't seen a massive difference, to be honest, but I'm going to give it 3 months and see if that makes any big difference, and then I can let everyone know the results.
I think I mean, I like them. I mean, when I seen them, I was like, I told my daughter, I said, I said, nope. I said, I gotta pick his brain. We gotta figure out what he's using because.
Do you know the funny thing? So you've got to put to create, that AI image of me pretty much in every one in a different pose and stuff like that. Because I don't sit there and take 30 different photos.
Right.
AI helps generate that using my face. So I had to upload like 20 photos of my face. Now, the funny thing is, I did that topless straight out the shower, and it keeps trying to put me topless in all the thumbnails. And I'm like, no. So in every prompt, I have to put, please make sure I'm clothed in this, this, and this.
Oh, my gosh.
But it's crazy. It's just, and I think with that, with the AI, it's still only as good as the prompts that you put in is what I've learned.
Yeah.
So, yes, it can generate them. You can generate them on ChatGPT if you want. As well. So you can put a little prompt in there of your idea, but the way to make them better is to keep recreating that idea 4 or 5 times. So adjusting it each time, and it gets slightly better every time. But again, that's just thumbnails. And if I'm being honest, some people don't like them. Some people prefer to just have a piece of the resin art as the thumbnail, and that works really well for people like Julie Cutts and people like that. But what I thought is there might be people that aren't in the resin community where they might just see one of those thumbnails and go, oh, that looks a bit intriguing, I'm going to click on that.
Right.
And it might get them involved.
Yeah. Because
Nikki's saying as well, ClickChamp for Windows is a good one as well, apparently.
Oh, yeah. And now I've got that, but I never could figure out how to use it. But I mean, I'm still trying to learn all that, what this is for and what this is for. Now, like the music, I forget what app it is that I use. It's the one everybody else uses. But it's like you put all your lyrics and everything in there, you let AI generate it, and it's like with me, they don't even say resin, they say what is it? We rise in Texas. No, it's not rise.
Rising.
It's resin. So I'm
But
like,
that's
I'm
the other
paying for
problem with
this,
AI. AI
Yeah,
doesn't always work. So it's like some of these shorts I did. So with my giveaways that I'm doing the 30 days of giveaways, some of them said, I think it was CCUK instead of UK and things like that. So I'm like, oh my God. And then I've had to go back and re-edit them. So AI is not perfect, guys, but it's
no, they're
fun to
not.
play with.
But
And
it's like
music
you're paying for
wise,
this, and he can't. But you're literally, I typed out the whole song, and I'm like, okay, they can't even get it right with the name that's on there that you have typed out. It's like,
yeah.
what in the world,
But that's the thing. AI will have its own interpretation of whatever you put in, and that's what you've got to remember. Sometimes you need to tell it or change it slightly. So it's like for CCUK, for example, instead of saying CCUK, all I did is I put an extra space, and then it realized it was 4 separate letters.
Yeah, I use Suno too. Now I did find on my old phone, because I had to get new phones.
Yeah.
Because my phone kept shutting off on me.
Right.
And so I had to buy new phones. And so on the other phone, there was actually 2 apps to Suno. There was regular Suno, and then there was another one. But how funny is this? I can't find it on the new devices. I can't find the second app. And that app was literally AI generated. You didn't have to put in anything.
Yeah.
And I didn't know how that was going to work. But now Michelle from Glitz and Glitter, she's got some amazing songs. I mean, I don't know what she's using.
She used to use Filmora, Wondershare, because I used the same app. And that was the only time, that was my first negative comment, was somebody came up in my comments and says, you're copying Michelle's music. And I'm like,
right, I heard that.
No, I'm using the same editing software. That's all.
Yeah.
But actually, since then, any music I do now, I'm trying to create myself. And the one I use is Udio, which is, again, it's a free one, but it only generates 30 seconds at a time. So you've got to keep generating what you want in 30-second blocks. But I use that for my background music as well and things like that, because then once you've uploaded, there's not going to be any copyright problems, because that's something, even with CapCut, I found sometimes there's copyright issues on the music.
Yeah. Now I do the Suno, and I upload it into CapCut, and then I edit my videos into what I want it to play. But my daughter's like, well, Mom, why don't you just find somebody that'll write you a song? And I'm like, because I want several songs, not just one. I want one main one, but I want several others. And well, she's live on TikTok all the time. So I told her, I said, well, why don't you find me somebody that can do that? I mean, she's found me somebody to create my design. So I'm like, you find me. And then I told her, I said, now you need to find me somebody that's got a 3D printer, because I've just started making my own molds.
Okay.
I'm so happy. And I need mold housings. Plus I need somebody that can do me designs, and they be mine, and then I just mold them or whatever.
This is where I really want a 3D printer, but at the minute, the thing that puts me off is I do most of my work indoors, and I know a lot of them let off a lot of fumes. So, and even though I've got like an air purifier and things like that, I think I probably use that to its maximum ability just with the amount of resin I pour. So adding that in, I would have to find a space outdoors that still protects it to do it in. And that's the thing what I can't do right now. But it's amazing what you can do with them. And again, I was looking today, an article where I live in Nottingham is where, I don't know if you've heard of Games Workshop over there in the States.
Who?
Games Workshop, Warhammer. Like little plastic figurines, basically. They're basically little figurines what people play battles with. And I read an article today that they just made 256 million in profit last year.
Wow.
I was like, wow. And I'm not surprised because of how expensive their figurines have got. When actually, if you had a 3D printer, you could create a file and print your own and design your own, which is what would really excite me as to what you could create.
Yeah. Well, now I've been looking at them, and I've really thought, I'm gonna have to buy one. Now, you got your typical regular 3D printers, and then you have your, I don't know the difference, but then you have one that's made with resin 3D printer. Yeah. I don't know the difference between the two. I'm assuming that the resin is more like an actual figurine than the other way, because I have bought a couple of things from I guess a regular 3D side of it or whatever, and you can see the grooves in all the stuff. And I guess a resin one, you don't see all that. So, but I've been looking at them on Amazon, and they're actually relatively not that expensive. And
I think they've come down a lot over the last few years.
Yeah, and from what I'm seeing and reading, the fumes are not that bad.
Okay. And you can get some now where there's a special vent that you put into like a fume extractor, a bit like an air purifier that I've got for resin. But again, it's just weighing it up, because again, I think I would rather have something like that outdoors just to be safe.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't do it, I guess, when your kids are around, but they do have the ones that have the air thing that sucks all the air out. Now, I know Sandy from Sandy's Organized Chaos, she's got that laser thing, and so does Michelle. Michelle's got one too, but hers is an X tool. But Sandy's is like a create something. Okay. And they say that it draws the smell and the smoke and everything completely out. So I'm thinking that so does a 3D printer.
Yeah.
But my side of it is, I literally last year, I bought a $5,000 DTF printer. Okay.
Okay.
And literally I quit using it. And anybody that knows DTF, you have to use it every single day, or everything clogs up. Your print head, everything clogs up. Well, what happened? That's what happens. And so I bought all the stuff to fix it and take all the parts out and replace the parts. But I thought, you know what? I'm just going to shut the dang thing down, because I have a feeling it wouldn't get used again. So I'm not going to waste my money to put the parts in there and then it clog up again. And then I'm out $300 or $400 buying new parts. So I'm like, forget it. I'm just not going to do the DTF printer right now until I know that.
Kirk's saying actually they've just got a resin printer and water washable resin, which doesn't have as many toxins. So
right, yeah, I knew they had one, but they're over in UK. To have that stuff shipped here would cost me a fortune if I got them to make it. I thought about them though. Really, I did.
Well, again, it's going to keep progressing, so that industry will as well. Because I remember a few years ago when even the cheap, nasty, really smelly, fumey ones were like £700 or £800, the cheapest ones. And I've looked recently, and you can get some that are about £150. So the price has come right down. For me, it's still the space though as well, and where can I fit it? So but they look amazing.
Well, look, I'm the same way. I mean, I don't know if you can see my room, but it's like, it's small. Yeah. And now I'm done built out. Now I'm going up. Any wall I can go up on, I'm going up. I've got it in my living room. My bedroom is completely full. I've got it down my hall. I've put shelves in my hallway. It's like
just shout out to Tim as well. Tim's at the doctor's at the waiting room. He says he's fine. It's just a follow up with the doctor. So I hope all of that goes well, Tim, as well. I hope you're okay, mate.
Yeah, I hope everything's okay. Hey, Claire.
But let's go back then. So
okay, let's go back.
You got into resin. You've been doing resin for a few years. Mm-hmm. You've just started on YouTube. What gave you that final push to start recording and putting it on YouTube?
And Michelle. You and Michelle.
Well,
when Michelle and them were your very first side of it with your live. And
was that the first time you saw my channel then?
Yes.
Okay.
And I watch Michelle and them faithfully. They remind me of me and my husband. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess I mean, I started watching them before my husband passed away, but now it's like I've watched them faithfully ever since I found them. And so I was watching them on your channel, on the live, and I know they couldn't see the comments, so that's why I was commenting, and you answered me. You were like, because I asked the question of, well, what would you tell somebody if they want to start YouTube?
Yeah.
And I was asking Michelle and them, and you answered, hit the button.
Yeah.
Just press record. And I'm like, okay. And then it took me a few weeks, and then after that, it was just, yeah. And I'm not a shy person at all. I mean,
you don't come across as shy.
No, I'm not shy. I'll talk to anybody and everybody. I guess the medical field or whatever, you know, I've always been in retail, and then I was in medical. So, you know, hey, I don't meet a stranger.
No.
But that's
that's great that you were inspired. And again, I think it's brilliant that you're pretty much at the start of your journey. I think you've got, as I say, 20 videos out now, which is good. I think
I quit. I was off for like 2 or 3 weeks. Maybe it seemed like a month, really. But I was trying to get 2 weeks of video filmed because it was killing me trying to keep up with videos, because I really want to put a video out every day. But it's killing me. I mean, I'm literally staying up sometimes till 3 o'clock in the morning or better. And then I'm sleeping because I think to myself, I'm going to lay down for just about an hour or so.
Yeah.
Well, no, I wind up sleeping until 3 o'clock. And then my daughter comes in and says, hey, Mom, have you taken your medicine today? What time is it? Oh, it's 3. 3 what? 3 in the afternoon. I'm like, what'd you let me sleep so late for? But yeah, I mean, literally, there's sometimes that I'm staying awake for 48 hours and not even getting no sleep. So
yeah, I think when creativity takes over, that's it. It takes over, doesn't it? And I share your pain with that, because at the minute, I'll be honest, obviously, you know, I work full time.
Yes.
I'm trying to get the 2 videos out a week and the live. And now I'm doing 30 days of lives for the giveaways. And I'll be honest, we're only about halfway through, and I can feel the toll on me. It feels like I'm never switching off. Which is okay, because I love the community and there's no place I'd rather be.
Yeah, it's going to take time.
And again, what I try and do with my videos is stay anywhere between 2 and 4 weeks ahead. And then that way, if something goes wrong one week, I don't panic, because I know they're there. But I know exactly what you mean. It's so hard to do and keep life going.
I don't know what's going on with YouTube, okay? Because before I stopped and got off of YouTube, and I was doing my 2-week time span, I don't know what the heck happened. But literally, when I came back on after I filmed my 2 weeks and got it edited and got it on there, literally, it was like they were putting 2 videos a day out. And I had it scheduled for a certain day. And they released 2 videos in one day. And I'm like, I had it planned that, you know, I had a video for every day for 2 weeks. Yeah. And now here I am, like 4 or 5 videos behind. And now I'm trying to play catch up.
Well, that's the thing. I try and get involved in as many collabs as possible as well. But then that's an extra video I need to create. Then sometimes I'll get a product sent to me from a supplier that I work with. That's then another video I've got to create. And there's a lot of work that goes into it that people don't realize. They think it's just a case of you click record and it's done. But it's all the editing that takes the time, I find.
Yeah. And see, I do Amazon Vine. And it's like, so sometimes when I get resin molds, which is occasionally you might find one on there, but if I do, I have to, you know, demonstrate it or whatever, because you have to give an honest review of whether it's good or bad or whatever, you know. And so it's like, so I got that, plus I got YouTube, and and then trying to edit, and literally I do have I have a lifetime membership to to my own website that I paid for. I can't even get time to get the stuff up on my website And so I'm like, I keep telling everybody.
That's me the last 2 weeks. So I'm
Yeah.
editing a website at the minute for my stuff, which I'm paying for already. But I just haven't had chance to upload anything or edit it or anything like that before I want to go fully public with it. And again, it's just finding that time. So
I know it's hard. I mean, and I thought my daughter was going to do it. And so it's just me trying to do, everything. But I honestly thought that she was going to help me. But you get her to do anything tech other than TikTok, she gets agitated.
Yeah.
So I try not to ask her anything anymore. I just do it myself,
Probably easiest. But now we've just had Petra pop in as well. So hi, Petra. Nice to see you. Great collab that we did last week as well. And again, it was great to see there was quite a few smaller channels in that as well. So hopefully it's going to help get more eyes on them as well and help them grow. So that was great.
I noticed it on YouTube earlier today. That's the first time I'd seen it, though.
Oh, right. Okay.
I hadn't seen it, but then I haven't really had time to get on YouTube.
Yeah, I think it all depends what pops up on your homepage as well sometimes.
Yeah, I'm not getting a whole lot popping up on mine for some reason. I don't know why.
No. Well, you see, I subscribe to as many channels as I can that are resin related. And because of that, it's constantly new. But sometimes then channels that I really love get lost because I don't see them popping up on my homepage. And again, I can't hide behind it. I've got maximum 2 videos a day that I can watch. That's all I can fit into my day. Exactly. And that's where I feel quite bad sometimes because I want to watch everybody's content. And I just don't have enough hours in the day to do that and create and to work. So again, if ever anybody out there thinks that I'm not watching your content on purpose, it's not that. It's just I can only watch 2 videos a day, tops, unless I've got time off work. So actually in August, I've got a full week off work and I'm looking forward to catching up on a lot of watching as well as a lot of creating and editing. So
we were thinking about taking a vacation the 1st of August because the kid goes back to school on the 11th, right? My granddaughter. And so we were thinking about going to Biloxi, Mississippi to the beach. And I'm like, so I tell my daughter, I said, get on there, find some place, book an Airbnb, we'll go. And then I discovered that how, YouTube kind of screwed me on the double video thing. And then I'm thinking, well, okay, I'm going to have to take my resin. I'm going to have to take this. I'm going to have to take this because I'm still going to have to do videos.
Yeah.
It's like, Mom.
But you know what? On an important note, and it hasn't happened to me yet, but there may come a time where I say, do you know what? I'm going to have a week off. And that's okay. I don't think YouTube will just destroy my channel. I think my subscribers will appreciate that. We had, what's the name on the show the other week? And I think she has like 4 weeks off a year for summer holidays when Desi, that was it, Desi from Desi's Jewelry. She has like 4 weeks off a year during school holidays because she's got a daughter at home and she wants to spend more time. And I think that's okay, YouTube shouldn't take over your whole life, no matter how much you care about it. It's a case of sometimes it may get to a point where you need a week off. Have a week off because you're better off doing that and recharging than completely burning out and not doing it anymore.
Yeah.
There you go. Petra had 3 years off.
Yeah. I seen her before I started, actually, I seen her when she came back. And it's so funny because the video that I seen was the video that she was actually commenting to someone else about something that someone else thought she had done. I know she knows who I'm talking about.
Okay.
We'll just put it as cuts, okay?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was like, because she mentioned it on her channel. Yeah. And then I seen Petra come on and tell her side on her channel. And I was like, oh, I didn't know this was the Petra that, she was talking about.
There you go. She knows what you're talking about, apparently. So that's why. But no, I mean, that's
the video.
That's the thing. I mean, again, Petra took time out. She's back now and she's doing great, and I think that's the thing to remember is you've got to think about you as well, because as much as I love this community, and I genuinely do, guys, I love each and every member in this community, every subscriber out there. I've also got to think about me eventually. And again, at some point, I know it's going to come where I'm going to say, do you know what, guys? I'm going to go abroad for a week. So there might not be as many videos coming out this week.
Right.
And I would hope that people still want to support me for that, because I think that's normal life.
Yeah. Well, this is basically my business because, like I said, I don't work anymore. So this is what, I'm not able to work. So basically, this is what I do. So, this is all I
love that phrase from Nikki there at Kernix as well. It's YouTube, not what everybody else does. Which is right. It should be your channel as well.
Right.
And if people want to support you with that and they enjoy it, brilliant. If they don't, they can watch somebody else. That's genuinely the way it is. And I know not everybody out there will love my videos. That's okay, because there's another artist out there that they probably will like. And I think that's the thing we need to realize, not to take it personally either, because not everybody has the same taste. Some people like the fact that I'm sometimes a little bit crazy on the videos and just throw everything in. So, and I try and do it in a tutorial way. Other people just want to watch resin channels where it's just a set 8-minute video, fast forwarding through the whole thing with music in the background. Yeah. That's fine, but that's not me. And I think that's the thing. You've got to do it your way. You've got to enjoy doing it your way. And you've got to do something that you can think, do you know what, in 5 years' time, I'm still going to be happy doing it this way because it's me. And I think that's what separates some of the channels out. Because, again, I see some channels and some of them try and copy an exact video, word for word, or an exact thumbnail, an exact style. And that's not me. I'm not about that because I don't think there's any way to... I think you can get inspiration from other people. And I think that's perfect. That's the way it should be. But if you try and... I've seen some videos where if you watch them side by side, almost every word is identical. And I'm like, that's a little bit weird for a start. And I know why they do it, because some of the gurus sort of advertise that. Find a popular resin video, if resin's your niche, and copy it. And you should get more views, but that's what the gurus will tell you. But my advice is don't do that, because you might get a few more views on those videos. But if it's different from the rest of your content, people aren't going to watch the rest of your content.
Right. I mean, to me, that's like stealing. Now, I have to admit, I don't copy word for word, but like, I believe it's Art Alchemy. I believe it's, is it Amy's Art Alchemy? Now, she
I've heard of that.
Wonderful blooms. And now, like that pink one that I think the video already aired. I don't know. But anyway, I did one. Well, it was a freaking bomb. It was a fail. I mean, literally, I've had one good bloom, and that's because I did it myself. I wasn't trying to copy nobody. I just did it.
Yeah.
And everyone that I've tried to recreate like they've done, they've all flopped.
Yeah.
So I'm like, what the hell am I doing wrong?
Well, sometimes what you don't realize, some of the, and I'm not going to name names, but some of the creators, I watch the videos, and there's steps missed out in those videos. And I think that's deliberate, because they want you to, I don't know, buy a course or something like that. But I think there's certain steps that are missed out sometimes so that you don't get the same effect. And that's why a lot of my videos, I'll be honest, they're not 20 minutes long. They tend to be 40 minutes long. And that's because I do every step.
I mean, I've had some 3 and 4 hours. I've really had to edit mine. So you'll probably see a lot of things missing out of them videos.
Yeah. But I think it's important, it's important that people sometimes realize that. And if things are going wrong, it might be worth them searching for a few other videos on the same technique to see if there's steps missing, is what I'll say. Because even before I started doing my first bloom, I watched about 30, 40 videos, and I was looking at what were the common tips that were coming in all of those videos and what was missing from some of them, but in others. And that's where I came up with the way that I do mine. But again, it's a case of what you've got to do is just enjoy what you're doing. And even if it goes wrong, some of my mistakes, I love to bits. And it's like, I don't know where he is now.
Oh, are you doing the drug owl? I mean, the drug lion or whatever they call it.
Meth bear. It's the bear. I love him to bits, because he's a reminder to me that everything can go wrong, but that's okay. It's about having fun and learning. And again, it's like some of my best pieces have come straight after a disastrous piece. So that's okay. It just shows me you get good days and bad days.
I don't know. My first whole week that I was filming was the whole week was flop. I mean, I'm coming. The ones I'm doing now, they haven't started editing yet because my tablet.
We've got Marva here as well. Hi, Marva. Hi, Amy.
But yeah, everything's turning out good. But I'm not doing a balloon, so that's. Yeah. I was going to ask you on the Toonfish, right? Her micas that she has, because I seen Claire use them yesterday too in her baby lotion little videos.
I didn't see Claire's yesterday, but if it's the ones I'm thinking of, is it the chrome powders?
I don't know, but you know, it is so hard to find a powder, and I wish somebody would make some. Guys, anybody listening that makes powders, woohoo! We need like normal colors, you know, like grays and blacks, things that you can actually paint a mold with that's going to still be as pretty as what the interference or chrome or all that's going to be.
Yeah.
We don't
I get it.
You got to use all these off the wall colors or these color shift or, you know, because they don't make them.
Yeah. Well, but you know, I mean, obviously there's only so much you can do with a standard mica powder. And I think that's the thing. And that's why they do the color shifts as well. And the tiny turners, it might have been those because I've been using those as well.
It could be.
Yeah. And again, they're amazing. But again, what I like to do with it,
Petra.
Yeah, there we go. She lives in Texas. But yeah, I think straight colors without glitter as well. Yeah, that can be gorgeous.
Yeah. Now I have over 200 and something glitters. I mean, I got a lot of glitter, you know, but that's
I've not quite that many yet, but I get excited about playing with new products. So again,
yeah,
I know you was part of the live, so you remember Lou got flooded out from Create and Bloom. So to show support, the other week she did her glow in the dark pigment sets, which looked amazing. So I went on her shop and I bought every color. So there's 12 different colors of those glow in the dark sets that I've got on the way. And I just can't wait to play with them because I find the ones of Temu, sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. And every product I've had from her has really worked. And she did say to me that compared to normal pigments, you have to use a little bit more. So you have to use 10 to 15% versus the resin to make them properly work. So again, that's just something I'm going to be playing with when they arrive. And I want to see if I can get a glow in the dark 3D bloom.
Hi, Amy.
So, but I love the new product. And again, I've just got the Let's Resin Chrome powders in because I've seen a lot of people using those. I haven't tried them yet. So I want to see what all the hype is about. And if they are as good as I see in people's videos, but again, you can just use standard micas. My first 3 months, every mica I used was just off Temu. And I got a big pack of them for about £8 for about 30 different micas. And I still use them now in certain projects. So, because I think depends on what effect you want. You don't always want to use an expensive product. And again, those tiny turners, they're great, but you get half a gram for about £6 in UK money. So it's expensive. And I'm not going to use that in every project because I can't afford to. But I am going to use them in special projects. And I think that's where it's good to have a mix.
She said she needed some great glow in the darks. I'm trying to think. Well, y'all can't probably get it over here though. Because I know last night y'all were saying a lot of people can't get what we get over here.
Yeah. And
that's I was saying that, you know, I mean, I don't mind helping anybody over there that needs help. I mean, if y'all want to buy it and then have it sent to me, and then I will turn around and mail it to you. I don't mind, you know. I mean, I don't mind.
Jennifer's asking whereabouts
in Texas. For the shipment, I don't. You know, it's fine. I don't care.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just.
No, and that's great to support each other. And again, we can do the same for you in the States if there's products we can get here that you can't get there. or if it's easier to do it that way. But Jennifer was asking where in Texas you are. I know you said earlier, was it just outside of Dallas?
I'm just east of Dallas, yes.
There you go, Jennifer. And remember, guys, if you've got any questions for me or for Tina, put them in caps lock and I'll ask them.
I see everybody recouped from last night's live.
It was a long one. It was only meant to be 15 minutes. And I'm like, nearly 2
I really
hours.
thought they were all going to pee their pants. They were laughing so hard.
It was good. It was good.
Funny.
It was
It was a good live.
And that's what I love about this, you know. I mean, we can just do a random live. What's meant to be 15 minutes. Oh, what's that?
She was saying she's going to be a mica dealer. I don't know.
Oh, well, why not? But yeah, we'll go through the questions as they come through. Otherwise, we'll get lost and I'll get told off by the mods. But no, going back to your channel then. So what's been your favorite make so far?
My favorite, besides tumblers, I would have to say.
Sorry, I'm just laughing at Nikki's comment. Apparently, incontinence pads have increased sales since I've started doing lives.
Oh my God! Hey, I've got plenty of those. I'll send them to you.
Oh dear.
It would have to be, and I just did this. I don't even think the video's come out yet. So
we're getting a sneak peek.
Yeah, the video hasn't come out yet, but that's okay.
Oh wow, that's an into resin mold, isn't it?
Yes,
I've seen that one.
I've had this mold for a very long time.
It's beautiful,
and I've never used it. And I thought, you know what? I'm fixing to redeem myself with all these fails that I've had for that first week. And that's what Jacob was saying. I did a everybody knows the little cup holder with the 3, because I mean, it's good. You know, when we first started doing those, them things were $8.
Yeah.
You know how much they are now to buy the mold? $16.99.
Yeah.
I'm like, no.
They saw a market.
I one myself. Forget that. I ain't paying $16.99 for it. I'm cheap. Not doing it.
Right. Well, we've had a few more questions.
Okay.
Jacob wants to know, what's your dream project to make with resin?
Dream project. Well, molds was actually what I really want to get into.
Okay.
And I've started that. But I think my dream would be, I want to make either I want to do my countertops, or I want to do a table in the riverside.
Yeah. Of it. That's still one of my dreams that I've got to do. I've just got to find the right bit of wood.
Yeah. I mean, I know how to remodel. I know how to do all that. It's just a matter of whether or not my right side of my body is going to let me function that way, you know?
Yeah.
Because there's only so much I can do at a certain point, and then I've got to just like quit.
And I tell you what, I'm so envious when I watch a lot of the American channels that do the river tables, because they've got all of these lovely maple burls and things like that. You never see those in the UK, or if you do, they're about £300 for a burl that's that big. And I think things like that are absolutely stunning. And I'm looking for a piece of wood like that on Facebook Marketplace every day so that I can make the table, because I only want to do it once.
Well, I live here, you know, of course, we live in the States, but granted, I live in the boonies, kind of, sort of, you know. Yeah. But, I mean, I'm just looking for, like, and we live on the lake, so I'm looking for, like, driftwood or something, anything that I can even put in a mold, and can't find nothing. Can't even find nice wood that I'm willing to pay for. You know, you can't find that kind of stuff.
No,
and I'm not gonna.
I'm not gonna. I will eventually just have to find somewhere and drive like 3, 4, 5 hours to find the right piece of wood. But until then, I just look on Facebook Marketplace, and eventually a slab of wood will come up on there that I love. Nikki's asking, Butch is saying we're in East Texas.
the Canton area.
There you go. Canton area. Nikki's asking, what's your favorite color?
My favorite color? Oh, God, guys. Y'all really got to ask. Pink and teal.
Pink and teal.
Yep.
That's 2 colors, but we'll allow it.
That's what colors?
That's 2 different colors, but we'll allow it. It's okay.
Well, yeah, my design is that those are my colors.
Yeah. Sandy's asking what your biggest disaster's been so far. Everybody always wants to know about the disaster.
Well, how many do you want me to name?
Just the biggest, the worst.
I'm thinking, what did I do with that stupid little thing? I don't even know what I did with it. I might have threw it in the trash. No, I was doing a coaster, and done me. I put the heat gun to it, thinking, okay, well, I'm going to pop them bubbles.
Yeah.
Oh, well, no, apparently, I don't know what happened with the resin because I think it was J-Diction or something, and I think it was fast set and not regular cure.
Right.
And it literally just rippled, and I'm like, what the hell? And then I put, the crushed crystal, the crushed rock or glass on top of that, thinking that it was going to sink, because I was trying to do my middle.
Yeah.
And it stayed on top.
Yeah.
But it literally rippled I'm like, what? I guess I maybe could potentially redo it and do it like a lake or something, and it might work. Put a little boat on there, but
the key is never throw it away because you'll come up with. It's like Math Bear. I've still got him. I'm never going to throw him away because he's a great reminder of what can go wrong. But also, it's like if you do blooms and they don't work. This was a suggestion that I made the other week. Paint them and then put a top coat over.
Oh yeah, this would take more than a top coat. I would literally have to sand this sucker so much that because it's got some ripples, and I wish I could find it. I don't know. I thought it was in here. I know I didn't throw it away because I thought they're going to ask me that. Yep,
they always do.
Yep, it's right here. It was horrible.
And Lula says your most beautiful disaster, not your biggest disaster.
My most beautiful disaster.
So it's the one that went wrong that turned out really nice.
I don't think I've really had one of those yet.
Okay.
Now, here's the awful disaster, okay?
That doesn't look that awful.
Oh,
I like it.
Well, see, the whole back rippled.
Yeah, I kind of like that, though. It's like a water effect.
Well, I was kind of trying to do a Larimar, I think. Yeah. And I don't know where I went wrong. I have to go back and watch the video.
Oh, I'm glad you said that. I forgot.
I've tried to do several of these.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's because my white's not heavy enough. Okay, first I tried Let's Resin. And then I tried the Cast and Craft.
Okay.
Well, I didn't put very many drops in Cast and Craft because I didn't really know how many to put. Because, when you watch people's videos, they don't never tell you how much stuff they're putting in there.
I try.
Not even the other Petra.
But half the time I don't measure it. I just dip my stick in.
I know.
Whatever's left on,
and
that'll
I'm
do.
Like, yeah. So and that's fine. You just do it and you just show people how much you're putting in there, though. So anyway, I just put like 10 or 15 drops. I'm not even sure how much I put in. I didn't put in that much. And so I don't know. It just failed. And here's another one that plopped. I don't think the video's come out on this one yet, but I don't care. I'll show you guys.
Again, I like it. It's kind of a ghost effect. It's a ghost effect flower.
Now, I would have to say this is my prettiest disaster also. But yeah, this was supposed to be a Larimar effect. Yeah, it didn't happen that way.
So interesting you keep saying Matt Larimar. I'm not going to say whether or not I have got the technique down now. But what I will say is round 2 of me and Lula trying Larimar effect is this Thursday. So if you can watch that, it's going to be fun.
Oh, yeah.
That's round 2. And I'm not going to say whether I've got it or not. You're going to have to watch to find out. But it's my 5th attempt at Larimar. So we're going to find out if it's a Larimar or a Larry fail. But again, on the failure side of things, let me just grab something. So this was one of my...
Petra, Petra Home Art. I know y'all had to, when she come on, they had to change. I was so used to her other channel, and she changed her name to, I think, Petra. What is it? Petra Home Art.
Petty's Home Art. The other Petra.
Yeah. Now I love their videos. I haven't watched this Petra. How do you pronounce her last name?
Jonglode. Yeah.
Jonglode. Okay.
I don't know if that's how she pronounces it either. So sorry, Petra, if it's not.
Sorry, I didn't mean to butcher your last name. But I haven't watched her. But I do watch the other Petra.
She's just put the Petty's Home Art does everything by feeling, and that's why. So again, some artists do. So it's like me, I never physically measure it out. It's like when I'm doing like 6 coasters, I eyeball it. I don't want to measure it all out and then pour it individually. But again, do it your way.
Yeah. Well, I do, because like for newbies, you know, I mean, that's kind of like when I started with tumblers, everybody always, oh, what is that?
This was a Larry fail. Now, on the front, it really failed, but I love the back of it. And it's one of my favorite upside down coasters. And that's just to show you that a failure can still be pretty. And I love this. This is on my coffee table every day.
Now, I see that's red, white, and blue. Was you trying to be patriotic?
Well, no, there's a bit of orange in there as well. But
is it orange? Okay. I thought it looked like
no, it was just something that I had a Larry fail, but I love it. I would never get rid of that piece because I absolutely love it.
And I haven't. I mean, obviously, you know, I've kept them, but I've also kept them for a specific reason, because, you know, I've spent a lot of money on these molds, and I think I've talked about it in one of my videos. It's probably coming up, but quite a few of those molds have pinholes all in them.
Right.
So I've got to fix them
with a thin layer of silicone.
And I'm not happy about it.
Yeah.
So it's either that or I'm going to have to top coat them. You know? Well, who buys molds to top coat? Not me.
No, I get it. But you know what I get as well with your coaster molds? So they will only last so long and keep that beautiful shine, and then you need to put either a thin layer of silicone or something in just to bring that shine back. And I've noticed that. And don't get me wrong, if you make your own, you'll probably still get 50 to 60, 70 pours out of one mold. That's why. But then unless you use like a mold release spray to prolong it every time, which most of us don't, you will have to do that at some point. But the great thing is, if you do them deep enough, then it doesn't matter, because you don't have to fill them anyway. And then every time you put a thin layer of silicone on, that takes 2 seconds to just put a thin layer on, and you get that shine back every time. Yeah.
Well, now I know she, I believe Julie uses her own brand.
Yeah.
So I don't really want to put silicone in it, because the silicone we get's not the same as what she uses. So it would be kind of a.
Shouldn't matter, because it shouldn't really, because most silicone will bond to silicone. So I've done it before where I've got a mold, for example, where it's lost its shine, and I bought, let's say it's a Let's Resin mold, for example, and then I've just put a thin layer of another different silicone on. It's cured perfectly and it's got that shine. But what I would always try and do is color match it. So if it's a clear mold, try and get a transparent silicone.
Yeah, no, hers are bright white. I mean,
yeah. I'd definitely use the white ones on that, but it should work. And again, it's just another way to do it. But we've got a few more questions. So Kirk is asking, is there a phobia that you have that he can make out of clay?
I don't have any phobias per se, because I'm not really that terrified of anything. In fact, I've got a snake skin sitting right up here on my computer, on my printer.
Okay.
My daughter found in my yard. No, but I do have a lot of clay behind me, because I was also going to be doing resin jewelry and home and handmade jewelry. Well, I haven't quite got that far to the jewelry part yet.
Yeah.
So I kind of just got stuck on the molds, and then, so
yeah, just be aware as well. Nikki's put the not all silicone bonds to all silicone, which is true. But I find, for me, the standard silicone that most mold companies use, if you just get a liquid silicone, it should bond 9 times out of 10. But if it doesn't,
what resin would bond to what See, I'm afraid to do it. I'd rather just top coat it.
Well, you could do that as well. Well, do you know what? Top coat it and then make a new mold out of it.
Yeah, but then I don't want her getting mad about that, though.
Well, she was. Again, you've already purchased the mold.
So I don't know. It really makes me sick. I've spent several hundreds of dollars on them flipping molds, and I bought quite a few from her. But yeah, I mean, and I love her molds, and I love her channel. So I'm not trying to dog it or anything. Oh wow, it came. Yeah, I bought a brand new. When I did my phones, I bought a brand new tablet too. So that's one of the reasons why I literally have not been editing the new videos that I'm putting out. Yeah. Because something happened with the brand new tablet. And luckily I got in the buyer's remorse in less, because I had 2 days.
Yeah.
Or it would have expired.
Yeah, Nikki's saying she's got molds of her molds, which is great.
Oh yeah,
Nikki she makes molds of her molds. But you know what? Sometimes if you fall in love with a mold, your first casting is the best piece to make a new mold out of it. So again, it might be an idea. If there's one that you've fallen in love with, just make another one out of it. You've paid for the mold, as far as I'm concerned.
I have. I've got some little bitty flowers, some roses, and the only reason I did make some of those, I made another mold because the mold's not very big. And I don't know if y'all have seen, how Michelle decorates her little characters. She'll put roses on the behind or whatever. So, well, they come out with the butterfly mold, but they haven't come out with the bow and they haven't come out with the flower. So I beat them to the punch on that one. I'm doing the flower. Michelle's selling the butterflies. So I'm doing the flowers. I'm going to sell the flowers that way. And now somebody just needs to come up with a bow mold. Yeah. And that way we all just buy from each other and not have to buy from Temu or from Amazon.
Well, Lynn was saying there is obviously you have to be careful of copyrights and things like that, which you do. Some molds will be copyrighted, which basically means you can make as many molds as you like for your own use, but you can't sell them on unless you make them unique to you. So I think as long as you change that mold in some way and make it your own, fine. And that's the way that I look at it. But again, I'm not an expert on it, so just make sure there's no massive copyrights.
I'm not either. I mean, I don't really know. I want to say I heard Michelle say that there is no copyright on molds.
Depends. For example, if somebody makes a mold out of a famous Disney character, for example.
Oh, yes. Now
there's copyright,
yes. But making a mold of somebody else's mold is, from what I'm gathering, that's what she was talking about. There is no copyright. Unless
they have a copyright on it or a patent pen or a patent on it for certain parts of the world and things like that, which, to be honest, I've not seen many people do. And that's because, molds and shapes own their own copyright, so you can't copy theirs. It all depends.
They're over in China, though. So that wouldn't apply to here in the States. Because
molds and shapes aren't they European? But yeah, I think different ones are in China. But again, that's why you see one company in China come out with a mold, and before you know it, there's 5 or 6 that have exactly the same mold because they don't tend to copyright it. They mass produce it and manufacture it, and it's the first one to market it properly that gets the most sales. But in other parts of the world, they are definitely copyrighted, which basically means you can't make them and then sell them on. But you can still copy them for your own personal use and sell the pieces on.
Yeah. And I mean, I don't like copying other people's molds. I mean, that's why I don't really want to do hers either. I really want to just try to figure out how to fix it,
Yeah.
But I don't want to copy them. I mean, if I want to be original, I don't want to do somebody else's stuff.
Yeah.
Thanks, Jennifer. If I buy it off of Temu or something like that, I'm going to copy it. I don't care. I mean, they're copying. In fact, they got a mold out of Julie's puffy heart that she makes.
Yeah.
They have a mold.
Right.
So they copied her because she's the first one that had that.
Yeah. Well, again, it's quite a simple shape though. So again, maybe there was one out there before. I don't know. You'd have to look back into all the copyrights, and if ever anybody took anybody to court, that's what they'd look at. But again, I think it's very rare that you would get that anyway over the sake of one mold, unless you were But there we go. Kirk's also asking, what are your favorite? Sorry, it was Nikki. What are your favorite tools?
What are my favorite tools? My hands.
Good answer. I don't think we've had that one before.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hands and eyes really help when you're doing resin work.
Amen. Because let me tell you, I haven't been able to see, and I had to go get my eyes redone, and then I got glasses, and I still couldn't see. Well, it's because they had them wrong in the prescription, so I had to go back and get a new prescription. But no, really, it would be my hands. But now I have to admit, I did buy me the resiners.
Which one?
The double mixer.
Okay. Yep.
Now I have the Let's Resin single.
Yep.
And I had the Isotoyo hand mixer.
Yep, I've seen that one.
Well, that thing went out in less than a month.
Right.
So I'm like, forget this. So then I bought the resiners, and I'm waiting. I was going to get their debubbler, but don't have to because got my vacuum chamber brought in here. It was in my dining room. So I was literally having to go from here to my dining room to do my stuff and all that. So yeah, it was just.
Yeah, Nikki's agreeing on the resiners double mixer as well. I love it. You know, it's great. And I love it, especially if I'm doing a big project, because I can just put 2 big cups of resin on, switch it on. It's mixing them both together whilst I'm getting everything else ready. It's great. Exactly. And again, for me, it's one of the simplest to use as well. It's just so straightforward. And the fact that now I know how to use it, which is actually pulling it up by pushing the button at the back, it's actually quite straightforward. Before, I was fiddling around with the little buttons on the bottom because I couldn't figure out how to do it. Then I watched somebody else's review and they're push the big button at the back. I was like, that's how you do it.
Well, I think I had to take mine. Well, I put mine together and then I had to take it apart for something. I can't remember what I had to take it apart for. But yeah, I mean, but yeah, the resiners, I wanted the debubbler, but that was because I didn't have a place for my vacuum chamber. And now that I found a place, which is still not ideal because I have to move it constant because my room is so small. So I have it sitting on a big cart. So it's constantly going to have to be moved out of my way to get to my vinyl and everything else that I have over there in that little cubby hole over there. So yeah.
And Kurt, just so you know, I never read the instructions. There's no fun in reading the instructions.
Now, I kind of did. I kind of did glance and read the instructions, but not quite that much. And I watched them two put theirs together because they got theirs right after I did.
Yeah.
And I was like, please put that thing together right. You don't want to take it back apart.
But no, guys, just to give you a pre-warning, we've gone over an hour now. So if it's okay with you guys, I'm going to do my giveaway, if that's all right, Tina.
Yeah.
Any questions you've got, whilst I do that giveaway, put them in chat, in caps lock. We've got 43 in now, which is amazing. Everybody go subscribe to...
for me.
To where?
She said, which debubbler do you recommend? I said, I would get resiners.
Yeah. This beauty here
would be better if you could get it, but I want one of them.
I use this one, the resiners one, the Airless Pro.
But now I actually have a Vavor vacuum chamber, 5-gallon.
Okay.
And I love it. I mean, but like I said, it's sitting on a cart, so it's not ideal. I've got a cart here, a cart here, a cart there. So I'm in one little, and I have to move everything out of my way to get to everything else. So,
Nikki, if you want the color matched one, you can go for the old version. Which is
I know it's not color matched, Nikki. I know.
The old version is the green one.
Yeah. Well, and I heard that one was not as good.
The motor's slightly less on it. So the motor on the first one only goes up to 95 kph, whatever that is.
Yeah.
And on the Airless Pro, it goes up to 99. So you get essentially more bubbles out. But they both work. I still use the other one sometimes from doing a big project. And I've just put 3 pots in each, and they both work fine, I think. But yeah. So let me do that giveaway quickly. Anybody else, put your questions in caps lock in the chat whilst I do this giveaway. So just to remind everyone, this giveaway, all you've got to do is find my short on a particular day. 8 a.m. UK time is when it goes out. Put in the comments, #CCUK Resin, #We All Grow Together. and you're entered. It's as simple as that. Or the way to guarantee yourself a piece of my art is to join memberships. And do you know what? I've got 31 members now. So thank you, everyone that's joined as well. That's put a massive smile on my face. But anybody that joins membership while I'm running this promotion, so you've still got 14 days to do it, you're guaranteed a piece of my art. So there we go. Cool.
They do purple version, Nikki?
I haven't seen that one.
I haven't either.
There we go. So
I wish they do the hot pink. We need a hot pink or a teal. I mean, I'd settle for either one. I'm thinking about actually spray painting mine because it's orange. So I'm thinking about spray painting it. So
you probably could. I mean, yeah.
But now that
here we go, guys. This was today's short. Just so it was yesterday's short, sorry, that we're drawing today. So this was yesterday's, which was day 14.
Giveaway day 14. Want a piece of CCUK art for free? Here's your chance. Today's quote: there are no mistakes in resin, just new abstract designs. To enter, like, sub, share, and comment hashtag CCUK Resin, hashtag we all grow together. Live winner draw tomorrow. Join membership this month for guaranteed art. Giveaway day 14.
So that was today's giveaway. Yesterday's that we're drawing tonight. This one's my butterfly, and this one's today's. If it plays, doesn't want to at the minute. But you're looking for day 15 on today's short. But we're going to pick this winner just because I know a lot of you come in just for that. There we go.
You want art? I'm giving it away. Quote of the day. Resin pours best under pressure. So do I like, subscribe, share, and drop hashtag.
Oh, a purple double mixer.
Resin hashtag. We all grow together.
So that's the one that you're looking out for today, guys. But we're going to pick the winner from yesterday, which was day 14. And we're halfway through these now. So you've only got 15 more chances after today to enter. So there we go. But here we go. We're going to pick the winner. Let's have a drum roll. And let's see who's won today. Who's it going to be? 82 comments. So somebody's winning. S Eunice 1000. Congratulations, S Eunice 1000. All you need to do is send me your address and you've won. Simple. And I'll ship it out to you wherever you are in the world. So there we go. That's the giveaway. But here we go.
The pressure's not bad, guys. Y'all don't have to be scared of it.
I will probably get a pressure pot at some point when I do bigger makes. But for me, that as long as it takes most of the bubbles out, which they do,
they take all the bubbles out.
Yeah.
And mine is very quiet. I've seen some that are like so loud. I mean, you can't even hear the people talk.
Yeah.
I can turn mine on and no problem. I mean, it's very quiet.
For those that can't afford a debubbler or something like that, there's other ways to reduce your bubbles. So heat it up. Give it a bit of a heat bath first. So it's at a good temperature. Let it sit for 10 minutes. Let the bubbles rise before you actually pour, and you'll get a lot less bubbles as well. So there's lots of different ways that you can reduce your bubbles anyway. But again, you can only enter. Sorry, Jennifer, you can only enter once in a day. But you can enter every day. So every day you can enter, but you only get to enter once.
I can tell you what I did before I got mine. They have these little mats that are for seedlings, you know, when you're starting to grow seeds, you know. I don't know if y'all do that over there, how you put the seeds in a little thing and you water it and it grows.
Like a propagator. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they carry the mats on Amazon, and you just type in seed starting mat. Literally put every bit of your resin, keep it on 24/7, put every bit of your resin on there. It heats it up. Do not put A, only put B on there. And when you mix that A in with that B, it's already warm and it will reduce your bubbles tremendously.
Oh dear. I've just read Claire's comment as well.
Claire.
She's sitting quietly in the corner after breaking her wrist after falling at her dad's funeral. Oh dear, I hope you're okay.
Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry.
I did see those beautiful pendants that you made as well for that on Facebook as well. So, but I hope you're okay, Claire. Wow.
I'm so sorry about your dad. I know that's
hang
hard.
on a minute. No. This morning's that came out must have been day 15, I'm sure. Because we drew day 14 tonight. If I've got them wrong, then we'll have 2 winners for day 14. We'll have an extra day. That's fine. I could have got them wrong, but there we go. I'm just seeing if we've missed anything. Just wanted to. Okay. I don't know why Jennifer says Andy. Lisa, I don't get your comment, what you've sent me. You'll have to resend it, but there we go. But yeah, I hope everything went well with that funeral as well, apart from obviously breaking your wrist, as well as it can be, because I know it's horrible when you lose somebody. And again, I know that I'm always in bits at funerals. So again, I just hope it went as well as it could have.
I am so sorry, Claire. I know how it feels. My husband, he's fixed to be a year next month. So it's. And I still remember now, you know, I was 26 when I lost my mum. And I did a speech for her at a funeral, and it was one of the hardest things I've ever had to do. And it was okay when I was looking at the paper, but as soon as I looked up and saw everyone, that was it. I was just in bits, so I know how difficult it can be. So I hope you're okay, and I'm sending my love and best wishes, Claire. Yes,
so I hope you're okay.
I hate that.
But last chance for any questions, because it's been going for an hour and 15 already. But don't forget. You need to subscribe to We Resin Texas. In fact, let me just have a quick look at your channel, just out of curiosity.
Yeah.
So you were at
you always
34, I think you said. It's refreshing now. Hang on. So you were at 34. I'm still refreshing. You're now at 54 in one show. Woo! That's what
I'm trying to get to 250. I've got a giveaway at 250.
There we
and
go.
then one at 500.
But so that's amazing, you know. And again, I don't know if you caught it on the other lives, but what I'm planning to do is next year, there's going to be 2 of these lives every week where I'm going to invite you back a year after to see where your channel is. And I think that's going to be really cool. See how people grow.
I think that's going to be real neat.
And to see who's still around, you know. Some people may have started and not have the channel in a year.
Yeah, there was one that started, oh God, I don't even know
Thanks,
what Jacob.
The name of it was. Make sure I check out your water fountain as well.
Nice to meet you too, Jacob. I've seen people start and they're on for a couple of weeks and then they just stop. And just like they just fell off. I don't know if they just quit or they went over to TikTok. Don't know. Nice meeting you, Stormy.
I don't know, to be honest. I mean, I think that's the thing. I think sometimes people have things that happen in their lives where they can't do YouTube anymore because something else is happening. And you've got to appreciate that, you know.
And I don't know if it's that maybe some comments, you know, because people can be nasty.
They can.
But you just got to take it with a grain of salt and just say, screw you and go on with it, you know.
Well, again, I don't want to bring it all back up again, but you know my channel was targeted by another creator in the space, you know, and that was horrific. I
heard all about that,
But again, I don't want to go through it because I don't want to bring it all up again. It's in the past now. But that's just an example of what can happen, and that sometimes stops people doing videos. And I had a few channels reach out to me at that point that said that they'd had a similar experience, but they're now going to start doing videos again. So that's great. And I think that's what this should be about. We should all be here to support each other. It's not a competition, and it's about working together for all of us to grow. Right. And again, that's what my channel's always about. And I've had a few people say other comments recently where they said, well, no, you're trying to grow your channel. I'm not going to hide behind that. Yes, I am. Yeah, I want to grow my channel, but I also want to help bring everybody along with me. And I think that's where we all grow together.
Exactly. And, you know, I mean, there's enough, and I've said this ever since I've started watching YouTube, people arguing and bickering over this and this and this. There's enough YouTube to go around for everybody. I mean, that's YouTube is the #1 watched. I mean, it's like there's enough.
It's getting bigger every day as well.
Exactly.
I think I saw something the other day that said every hour there's like 20 million new YouTube videos uploaded.
Exactly. Yep.
You know, so if you get one that gets 1,000 views, there's probably millions out there that haven't got that 1,000 views. So be happy with the views that you've got as well. Exactly. And again, I've been doing this for well over a year now consistently, and I've only had one video that's semi-popped off, and that got like I think it's 13,000 views. But that's the only one out of about 300 videos.
Yeah, I know there was one that I had too, and I was really shocked. I don't even remember which one it was. I thought it was going to be the flipping bloom, and it wasn't. YouTube is telling me it's some other video. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Because that bloom was perfect, my very first one. And I'm like, and you're telling me that this other video is number one? No way.
Well, one of my most popular videos was one that took me about half an hour, and it was a little UV teddy bear keyring with a heart inside it. And that does really well consistently every week. And that probably took me 20 minutes to make. Other videos have taken me a full week to make, and then another 3 days of editing, and they've got 300 views. And I'm like, why? I can't figure it out.
Exactly. It's like, I don't know. I don't even know half these people's names, but bye, Bird.
Bye, Sandy. Nice to see you again.
Sandy. Yeah, they're going to have to come on and tell me everybody's name so I can put the logo with the name, because it's like trying to remember it. Everybody is like.
But that's the key. Nikki's just said she doesn't view any of us as her competition, which is great. Right. That's the way it should be. And neither do I,
I don't either.
Would I love to have 100,000 subs one day? Yes. I'm not going to hide behind that. I think we all would. But what I would love even more is if me and 100 other creators had 100,000 subs. Exactly. Because that's where we've grown the whole community, and that would be amazing to see.
And that is something that I forgot I was going to say this earlier, and then I'll let you go. One of my big things is, and I have said it on several videos, my thing that I'm going to do, and I want to start, and I want to be able to, I'm going to have two sides of it. I want to go live. And I don't know if you can go live right now on YouTube not being monetized. I don't know.
I think you can. I don't think there's any requirements to go live.
Okay. Because I want to do teaching, but I want to do it to where I can, like, I'm going to ask people their thoughts of what they want. And then we're going to have a vote, or I will pick out of a hat. And if whoever's thing came up, then that's what, project we will do that week.
Yeah.
And then I'll give them a list, and they can go buy that stuff, or we will do their project. And then on another live, I will give them a list of a project that I want to do.
Yeah.
And then they can go buy the stuff. And then we will sit down on the live and do it all together. That way, if they have any questions, it's hands-on.
Once you can, when you get to the point where you can launch a community, which I think is when you get the first stage of monetization, you can do polls with your community and they can vote on the poll. So that might be an idea as well, rather than having to draw them out of a hat every week. You could actually just put it out there as a poll that people can vote on.
I'm like sitting here trying to figure out how I was supposed to do a post, because I can't see anything on my own YouTube.
Yeah.
It doesn't pop up. So I don't even know if the things are being posted on everybody's YouTubes or not.
Set up another channel and subscribe to yours.
Do I now?
Set up another YouTube channel.
I have one. My granddaughter took it over.
And then subscribe to your channel.
Yeah.
The main one from that channel, and you'll see everything that gets posted on that channel.
Okay, I'm going to have to set up another one, because she took over that channel, and now all her little goofy things that she watches is all on there. So,
yeah.
But
there we go. It's been wonderful meeting you.
It's been very wonderful meeting all of y'all.
And we've nearly doubled your channel in one live. So I'm excited to see what's going to happen after this goes out as well, because a lot of people don't watch these when we go live. They watch afterwards. So give your channel another shout out. So you're at 55 subs now.
Okay.
So yeah, give it a shout out so people know where to find you.
I draw a blank. Hey, at We Resin Texas on YouTube. Come see me.
There we go. So make sure you subscribe. And if you haven't already, by all means, subscribe to this. And I'm looking for guests from October onwards now. So if anybody wants to come on a live, let me know. And just to follow on from yesterday's live, I've decided I'm going to do it. So
please subscribe to my channel.
Subscribe to Tina. So a few of you said you wanted me to auction this off.
Yes. Oh my God, that is so gorgeous. When is the video coming out?
I asked everybody to send whoever's interested to send me an email. as to what their
Oh.
bid would be. So
Well, see, I do need to do
I
that.
can announce that the starting bid is £150,
Oh my gosh.
which is amazing.
That is good.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a short out with that on, and I'm going to leave that short open for 1 week. Anybody, if you want to bid on it, put a bid in comments. If you don't stress about it. But if it's something that you wanted to do, put your highest bid in comments, and it will finish in a week, and somebody's going to have it.
Yeah, I would love to have it, but yeah, 150 pounds. Ooh, Lord.
Make your own. That's the other thing. The video is going to be coming out in a few weeks of how I did it.
What I was wondering when the video was coming out. But you know what you ought to do though, really, is have a live to teach people how to do that.
I do sometimes. I do creation live sometimes.
See, that's
the
what
problem
I
is there's that many different steps in something like that. You would have to do it over 7 or 8 lives.
Right. But you do your channel members. You have members.
Yeah.
So that's what I know, like on Tumblr making, with their Patreons, that's what they do in their lives.
Yeah.
So they go in and they teach them how to, because a lot of people learn hands-on. That's why I was saying, send them a list, give them time to get
I think that's why some of the people like my creation lives that I do. And they can also see things go wrong and how to, like that Froggy Friday I did where we got a flash cure. That was hilarious.
Yeah.
But no, I've got plans for that going forward. I've got a few ideas which will actually link with the new website when it's done. So where there's going to be a lot more, I suppose, content where I'm not worried about the time, how long it's going to take. So if it takes 4 hours for a video, it takes 4 hours, but that's going to be specifically a detailed tutorial that people can watch. So I've got a few ideas for it, and that's going to come out over the next few months. But again, I'm still building. I'm still trying to grow out this channel and come up with new ideas and new things, And every time I do, I'm going to share it with you so that you can all do the same if that's what you guys want to do.
Now, it seems to me like jewelry and keychains, because like you were saying, the keychains, people love that. Why? I don't know.
Well, people love it because it's something small. It's inexpensive usually. So you can normally pick them up for $10, $15, let's say.
Yeah.
So it's not a lot of money, and they can have it with them all the time. It's the same with pocket hugs. They're great because you just keep them in your pocket or in your handbag if you're a lady, and they're cheap, small pieces. And again, for the creators, they're also cheaper to make because they don't use a lot of resin.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. I never thought of it like that because I know Michelle. They all rave about, man. They want her to do the jewelry and this and that, and that's really what they're after is like the jewelry and
Well, I love some of my earlier jewelry pieces, which I still haven't listed anywhere. But I got some beautiful Petrie pieces.
I haven't done that yet. I've got to go back and watch videos to learn how to do that. But now I did see Claire's baby lotion one last night. You got to watch it.
I'll watch it. I know she's done that a few times because her and Dan both use the baby lotion technique, and they get some crazy effects with it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hi, Sly, as well. Just so you know, I will read that Facebook message after the live as well. So you've sent me a message. I look forward to reading it. Hopefully it's a nice message, not a horrible one.
Yeah.
Imagine that. She's come on the live to say that I've just sent you a horrible message on Facebook. But that'd be hilarious. But no, jewelry as well. The great thing is I've got, and I'm not kidding here, a drawer full of cabochons that I've made. I just haven't turned them into jewelry and listed them on the website yet because I haven't set up the website. But I absolutely love some of the pieces, and I think you wouldn't find them in a shop, and that's what makes them unique. So let's say you go to a particular resin creators art store. You buy some, let's say it's $20 for a pendant or something like that.
Right.
Nobody else will have it. It's one of a kind. It's not mass produced. It's unique. And I think that's why it's worth it. So I'm going to be, hopefully, once the website goes live, there'll be lots of jewelry pieces as well that'll go on there as well. But again, for me, it's not about necessarily making a huge profit. I'm not out to make a huge profit. Do I want to eventually fund my lifestyle? Eventually, yes, but that's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 years down the line, and I know that at this point. And again, anything that I make in the channel, so I'll share with you guys. This month has been my best earning month on YouTube because of I've had a lot more people join membership because of the promotion that we're doing, and and I had one of my videos go semi-viral. So I'm going to be doing.
Wow. Which one was that?
That was the one with the 2D blooms. That's the one that's had like 13,000 views.
Okay, I haven't seen that one yet.
So that's made me roughly about £200 this month, which is great. It's amazing. So, but that's why I've done this promotion. So all of that money is going to go into postage so that every member, so there's 31 now, is going to get a piece of my art. And we've got the 30 days. So that's 61 pieces of art I'm going to have to ship out.
I know, mine's stacking up too. So I'm like, okay. And, you know, I throw all my fails in the trash. I don't keep, you know, I don't have.
This is what I'm saying. At the minute, I want to reinvest any money that I make straight back into the channel or to the community and you guys, you know. Yeah. And I think that's what excites me. Eventually, when I've got 150, 200,000 subs, I'm hoping that I don't have to, but that's a long way off. Right. And again, we're all still learning, we're all still growing, and I think that's the exciting thing. But I think there's so much scope out there for people to grow and be able to do something they love.
Yeah, you're planning Nikki this weekend, huh?
Wire wrapping as well. That's great. I've seen some of those videos.
Yeah. Now, see, I've got all that, and I've got all the tools, and all. I just haven't pushed myself yet.
No, well, but no, it's been brilliant having you on. And again,
same here.
I'll do the same to you. So on every live, I always say to people, if you've got any questions for me, you can ask me. So you've got 5 minutes to ask me any questions you want as well.
Well, let's see. I already used CapCut. You've already answered that one.
Yeah.
But now, do you use CapCut for your music, or do you use?
No, I do.
Use that Udio or whatever.
Udio is the one that I use.
Yeah,
and I
can't get that. That doesn't go here.
You should be able to.
I think I looked at it. Me and my daughter tried it.
You get so many free credits a day on it, and that's what I use.
Yeah. See, I'm paying for Sumo or Suno, right, whatever it is. But you know, you pay for all this on CapCut though, which is crazy. But you know, their AI music sucks.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't even so I'm sitting here, okay, $180 a month. I don't know that that's worth it.
Yeah. I mean, Nikki's put it there. I've seen everything about the copyright issues with CapCut. They essentially claim to own anything you use that you edit through them.
Yeah, I've seen that, and I don't like that.
I don't like that, but again, they can't. As far as I know, they don't repurpose any of it yet. Anyway, so
right, yeah,
I've seen that. And again, the biggest issue I have with CapCut, if I'm being honest, is if I try and use their music, 8 times out of 10, it's copyright protected, and you upload it, and then you have to re-edit your video.
Yeah, and to me, I was telling my daughter I was thinking about going to Filmora, but their stuff is so complicated to try to figure out.
The thing I didn't like about Filmora is every month it seemed that they were sending out an update and upping the price.
Yeah.
So I started out with Filmora, and then 6 months later, I was paying like £35-40 a month for it, and I was like, hang on a minute. When I signed up, it was like £15 a month, and then it like trebled in price. And I'm like, And then I tried CapCut, and I just find it easier to use, and that's why I stick with CapCut.
It is very easy to use, and that's the only reason why I stay. Even though I don't use a lot of the features, you know, I mean, granted, I use the stickers, I use the certain, you know, little whatever social media things, you know, but other than that, I don't. And I know you got to get off because you got to wind down because you got work tomorrow.
Yeah, but no, just to let everybody know as well, next week we have got Mary from Rad City Design as well. So I'm looking forward to that because I've seen a few of her videos, but never met her. So again, it'll be great to meet her. So she's on the show, but don't forget, go and subscribe to Tina over at We Resin Texas.
Yes, so I can follow most of y'all because I don't know a lot of these people, and it doesn't show up on my Facebook side.
Well, there we go. Hopefully, as they subscribe, you can see the subscribers. Click on those and subscribe to them.
Where do I see that at? How do I find that?
You can go into your subscribers on Studio. So if you go on Studio, there's a subscribers tab at the front, which will say new subscribers, and you can just click on them. Hang on, let me see if I can show you. Studio.
Okay, I'm on YouTube Studio.
Yep.
Okay, I go where?
Hang on, I'm just getting it on my computer so I can remember. But there is a way to see who subbed.
Oh, so you got to do it on the computer?
Yep.
Oh, okay. That's why I'm not able to do it, because I do everything on my phone or my tablet.
Right. So I'll share my screen quickly with you so you can see.
So you can, well, I can probably find it then. I didn't know you had to be on the
So
computer.
I'm on my studio. Yeah.
Okay.
This is normal studio. You scroll down and you can see recent activity members, or you can click subscribers and you can see all subscribers and you get to see who's recently subscribed.
Okay.
And then you can just
go and
subscribe to all of their channels as well if you want, just from here.
Okay. Well, now that explains why I can't do half what I probably was been needing to do, because I ain't doing it on the computer. Yeah,
you'll find with YouTube, there's some things you can do on the computer, and then there's other things that you can do on the phone, which is easier.
Yeah, I wonder if CapCut is like that too. And
maybe.
You know, yeah, but I do everything on a tablet, so yeah. Okay. Well, I will have to start getting on the computer.
There we go. So I think I don't know how to do the private subscription, but apparently Lisa says there is a way to do it privately. And I think you do get some that just say anonymous. So again, there's a way to do that as well if you want to subscribe to somebody anonymously. There we go. On the phone, you can see the subs in YouTube, apparently, not in Studio.
Okay, on YouTube.
So if you go into your channel.
Resin by Sherry Hart. Okay.
I just use Studio on the computer because I find it easier.
Yeah. I mean, I have plenty of those. I mean, you know. But anyway, I will let you get to bed.
No, but that's brilliant. Congratulations again to today's winner of the giveaway, who was
congratulations,
Eunice 1000. So make sure you send me your address via email or whatever's easier, and I'll get that prize out to you. And don't forget, you've got another 15 days to enter. So go and enter. It's free. You might win a piece of my art. And great meeting you, Tina.
You too.
Thank you, everybody. Especially my wonderful mods that don't get enough praise. So thank you, wonderful mods.
Thank you, wonderful mods.
Just for you guys. But yeah, you've all been brilliant.
Wonderful. I don't know who you are, but y'all are wonderful.
It's been a great night, and I'll see you all next week.
Bye.
Bye-bye.